Hi, I'm Lisa Beth Kovitz. Life is not always a clear, straight shot to success, and there is no set path into science. I'm here today with Captain Mark D'Agostino, a U.S. Army Brigade surgeon. Captain D'Agostino dropped out of school after the 9th grade. But jump ahead to 2003, and that same dropout won a Marshall Scholarship. Since then, he's racked up a master's in biochemistry, a master's in health policy, and a doctor of medicine. So, how does a kid who drops out in 9th grade become an internationally acclaimed scientist?
It's definitely a long story, Elizabeth, but it's one that I'm very grateful to have the opportunity to really share with you. A day did not feel right unless I had started drinking, and I even started to feel a little ill, which I know now as a physician to be kind of early delirium tremens, and that already had started by the time I was in the 9th grade. It was a true dependency.
D'Agostino left home at 14. One night, 5 years later, drunk on the street, he found himself alone in the Brighton section of Boston.
I remember feeling the first fist and then feeling the weird feeling of my teeth grinding together and some of the blood in my mouth. And I remember the warmth down my neck where I'd been cut with the knife. And I remember trying to use my arms after a lot of this had happened, but I really couldn't. But I was so really at that point in time intoxicated to know that they were shattered. In my mind, I honestly had thought that I was dying and that entire self-grieving process happened, but even more importantly was that I could see all the things that you hear about when your life flashes before your eyes. I could see my father. To this day, I can hear his voice. And I realized that really the enormity, the gravity of what it is that we're all immersed in, and that I had so much potential and so many opportunities, and I threw it all away. And so I knew that at that time, something really had to change, because I really did feel like I got a second chance. I really had no business at that point as a 9th grade dropout, going into really starting college, but they gave me a chance. My first semester, I got into a class. It was an upper level psychology class, but it was called physiologic psychology. It was with Dr. Tiffany Cunningham, and I don't even know how the heck they let this high school dropout who had no business taking that class. I don't even know how I got in to that class. It just must have been an oversight. And I just ate it up. I just loved it. And Dr. Cunningham said to me, I don't know what your major is, but you clearly have a propensity towards the sciences. And so once I went to the dictionary and looked up what propensity meant, I realized, I was like, well, thank you very much. And then, a year later, I was there creating a sample cell, and we were modeling heterogeneous tropospheric reactions on the 100 phase of magnesium oxide crystals, making and I was interpreting, scanning, tunneling microscopy images. And I mean, the whole point is that it was just an extremely rapid acceleration, because what I had been missing beforehand, what I had been missing when I was really young, even, was just that intellectual, was just, let me say this, I had the intellectual curiosity, I just didn't know where to put it. And really, and science and chemistry and biology really provided me the opportunity, and I was just off and running. I had tried to do everything that I could to pretty much hide my past, because I'm going to be honest, I was ashamed of it. And when I was at UMass, I mean, at this point I was in their honors program and at 4.0, and was doing everything, and I was doing research and presenting, and had published paper. I mean, I'd done all these other things. I told people I went to high school. I mean, to be honest, because I was just ashamed. Everyone blames others. They'll blame the people, places, things. Oh, well, it's this town, it's this thing. No, it's you. And once you make that decision, take that personal responsibility and realize that you're not in control. And I think that's so critically important, is just acknowledging to yourself. You don't have to say it to anyone else. Just being honest with yourself. You're not in control. I honestly thought that I would be in jail or I would be dead. There was no planning. There was no thought about even finishing high school before. There was no college, or I mean, all these other sort of things that now that, I mean, I'm just immersed in this completely different world. And I'm so grateful, and education and science in particular has been so important, and it has fueled me, and it's brought me to a point now where I really honestly feel like skies are the limit. And I want to share that, and I want other people to know that it's not too late.